So, hello, magical souls, and welcome back to our sacred space. I'm Katherine Tack, author, artist, Akashic record reader, and teacher of spirituality in the new world, for the new world. So, in today's episode, this one goes right to the heart of what it means to love, to lose ourselves, and to come home again. We're diving into something that so many of us experience, but we rarely name, and that is codependency. So, today we're going to look at the signs that you're in a codependent pattern or relationship in the first place, how to reclaim your energy and sense of self, and why healing these dynamics leads to deeper, freer love. We're also going to enjoy a very beautiful meditation to help you let go of codependency and return yourself to self love and sovereignty. And joining me today, as always, is my dear friend and fellow light bringer, Trish Diez. Over to you, Trish.
Hello, lovely people. Hello, lovely ones. I'm so happy to be here. Hello, Catherine. Thank you so much. I'm Trish Diez. I'm a psychologist, therapist, and belief coach, and recently an author. And this is one of those conversations that really touches us all at some point in our journey, isn't it, Catherine?
It truly is. So, this is one of my favorite subjects to talk about because I don't think people talk about it enough. And codependency can weave itself quietly through relationships. They might be romantic relationships, work, family, friendship, and even in our spiritual path. And it can look like love. It can feel like devotion, but underneath it is often about the fear of being alone or not feeling enough unless we are needed.
Yes, I think that we've all been there. I certainly have been there and continue to see signs of it in my own life, even though I've worked deeply on it. Wanting to fix or help someone, or just having them around, even if it's not healthy, and thinking it's love, when really it's us trying to feel safe through another person, is the billboard of codependency. And of course, believing that we just can't cope or manage without someone or something, either in a personal relationship or when we believe that we need their, whoever they may be, love or appreciation or approval, or even just good news, positive information, a promise, a deal, a contract, in order for us to find an internal emotional balance again. Whenever we're in the face of a potential outcome that is very stressful for us to think about, like perhaps the loss of the presence of someone, or even news from a boss or a bank or an insurance company or a doctor, that time between fearing the worst and then getting a sign that we're going to be okay is like living in hell. And that time could last a while. So we can see the dependency that has tentacles that reaches out, trying to pull something in so that we can feel okay again, outside of us always, so that we can feel internally okay. So our mind takes us to the movie of what life will be like, how terrible it will be, and in some cases so terrible that we can even faint or have a panic attack. It's a horror movie in that moment, and we lose sight of the fact that we are actually safe right here, right now. Even with difficult information, we are still safe. The concept of safety is a very powerful one when we fear losing it. In that very moment, nothing has actually changed. Someone may have walked out the door, or the boss may have scheduled a meeting, or we may have been told we've been fired, or we've received a diagnosis, or some other bad news, whether the case may be, whatever the case may be. But in that moment of dependency on receiving information that is not difficult, is overwhelming. And we often regress into our child who feels that they just can't manage. and they don't believe that they'll be able to cope. It's perfectly human, and I'm just as fragile as the next person when it comes to managing the dependency on everything going smoothly. You know, I'm okay only if you're okay with me, no matter who you are. But is that really true? What I've noticed is that in these challenging and difficult times that we get to really feel and really get to know ourselves, that's where the treasure is, actually. We can be our own mechanic, going inward and seeing how these fears affect us inside and out. And of course, we learn that love is not contained by anyone or anything. So it's not possible to seek it and find it. It is what we are. It's a frequency, it's a vibration. So seeking love can only lead to suffering. And actually, I wrote about it in my book. I called the chapter The C Word, because it's something that we just, as you mentioned, Katherine, never discuss. So I'll just have a little read. The first time I started to see it clearly was after leaving my last husband. It broke me open. I remember sitting on the floor, hunched over as if I'd been in a horrible accident, the words spilling out before I could catch them. What will I do without him to think about, without him to focus on? It felt like I had nothing, nothing of my own. I'd given it all up. I felt like I jumped off a cliff and was falling into an open, terrifying, unfamiliar void. It wasn't the fear of the unknown. If it had have been unknown, I wouldn't have been so full of fear, because the unknown can only be informed from the past. So it's never unknown. This was different. This was space. I didn't know what to do with such space that I had never filled. Something in me cracked. I realized that how I was feeling had nothing, nothing to do with him or anyone for that matter. It was the overwhelming, body shaking effect of not knowing who I was or what I needed. I didn't know how to exist without someone to distract me from my lack of my own existence. Who I believed I was died. The one he was married to, the one who sacrificed, the one who did so much, the one who tried for so long, the one who was cheated on, the one, the one, the one I later realized wasn't even me.
Amazing. Amazing, Trish. I got chills listening to that. That was really, really incredible. Thank you for sharing that. I think so many people can relate to that. And what you've just said, so many people have been through something, not exactly like yours, but similar. And then they might feel very alone. And I often say that codependency is like love without the healthy boundaries, love that forgets its own source. And the truth is, we can't pour from an empty cup. And real love, divine love, is sovereign. It says, I love you, but I am still me. And our first point of reference today is to recognize that pattern. So, Trish, in your opinion, how do we start to recognize when we're in a codependent pattern rather than a healthy connection?
Beautiful question. The first sign is usually when there's an anxiety running underneath our actions and a fear of certain consequences not happening or happening. So if I talk about this, he will shut me down and walk away. So I won't speak up. I won't be me. If I don't play the politics at work, I'll lose my job. And of course, this makes your energy feel very depleted. There is so much effort going on to keep everything the way we need it to be. When love starts to feel heavy, anxious, or conditional, that's a whisper from your soul saying, something's off. I invite people to ask, do I feel free in this connection? Really free to be me? Because if love costs you your peace, it's not aligned. And of course, if the answer is no, then I ask them to ask themselves, what is stopping me from really being free in this connection? And make a list to see if that is really true for them.
That makes so much sense, Trish, what you've just said. And I notice for myself and people that I work with, sometimes we justify it, don't we? This person needs me. I promised I'd always be there. But that is coming from a place of fear, not from flow. And the way we want to work going into spiritually in the new spirituality in the new world is we want to be in a place of love and flow. And in the Akashic Records, this often traces back to soul contracts or vows of loyalty, sacrifice, or service from past lives. So sometimes it's not just the environment that you've grown up in. Sometimes there's something deeper underlying what's going on for you in a particular relationship. And you can have these, we make karmic patterns and things happen by saying to somebody, I'll love you forever. That creates karma. That means that in lifetime after lifetime, that energy of what you said, or I hate you forever, also comes back. So sometimes you walk into a room and you see someone and you just think, I just can't stand that person. And I have no idea why. They haven't even opened their mouth, they haven't said a thing. And I just feel this like, oh, I can't be near this person. And it could be from a past life where you said something like that. But sorry, going back to what the Akashic Record keepers and guides often say, is that the words that kind of run through your head are, "I must save this person," and that kind of lingers in your field, and that can keep you tied to dynamics that drain your light. And I'm actually reminded of a recent Akashic Record reading where the young lady wanted to separate and eventually divorce her husband, but she was so afraid to do so. She felt compelled to leave for all the right reasons, but she was just stuck in this fear loop, constantly worrying about all the cruel things he had said to her over the years, how she would never find anyone else to love her, and how she would never be okay on her own, how she couldn't survive without him. Okay. And the record keepers and guides were very gentle with her, and they helped her to understand what was really going on so that she could reconcile within her own heart that staying with him was actually enabling him to continue his poor behavior. So they'd had a past life together and he had treated her badly in that past life. Now she's got an opportunity in this lifetime to correct the negativity that's going on, to correct the situation. So she had this opportunity, and she understood from the record keepers and guides that leaving him would be the healthy thing to do. So they, of course, reassured her about how lovable she really is and let her know that there were many soulmates available for her. They actually started to list them and they started to bring in the different characteristics of the individual soulmates so that she could actually understand that the fear that she was experiencing wasn't real, as in it only existed in the paradigm of the circle that she was on, the hamster wheel that she was going around in. And she could actually step off of the hamster wheel and retrieve herself and her truth. But I'd like to hear from you, Trish. How do we move on from this codependency? How do we begin to the journey to heal?
I think it begins with awareness and compassion, and most importantly, for ourselves. We don't judge the version of ourselves who loved too much. For example, she was just trying to feel safe. You know, in my case, I look at that version of me and I can very clearly see all of that pain that was behind all of the actions. And we take a moment to notice that she was only doing what her mind was telling her. She couldn't do it differently in that moment. And to ask ourselves as we get very still and close our eyes, what would my life be like without this thought? Then we can start to call our energy home.
Beautiful. So I often guide clients to say a lovely mantra, which goes like this. I release all energy that is not mine to hold, and I call back all energy I have given away through fear or attachment. And this is a very beautiful, energetic mantra, and it's like a soul retrieval that helps us, isn't it?
It is exactly. We're reclaiming the parts of ourselves that believed we had to earn love through sacrifice.
Yeah, agreed.
The magic is actually that once we've reclaimed that energy, we start to attract people who meet us at that higher vibration. And I love what you mentioned earlier, Catherine, about the messages from the Akashic record readers and guides, how they said that this fear that this young lady was experiencing was in this hamster wheel. It's not outside the hamster wheel, it's contained to her situation. We sometimes do believe that this is it, but it's absolutely not. This is the bubble in time where we are, and the way we're feeling in this bubble will attract similar energies. But once we leave it, then we attract people who meet us at that higher vibration and love that's balanced and reciprocal and peaceful.
Yes, what you just said feels like home, not survival.
Mm.
And because we are whole, we no longer need to be rescued, and we stop trying to rescue others. We can
Mm.
just be and allow others to be too. It's very freeing.
Yeah, that's the freedom, isn't it? That's the freedom of love.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so I would like to lead everybody in a lovely guided meditation. And this is going to help us to let go. It's a meditation to help us release codependency. And it's something that I think it's great to listen to if you are struggling with codependency. How do you get off the hamster wheel? How do we see the light? Let's do it through meditation. Okay. So everybody find a nice, comfortable place, and let's start breathing in for 1, 2, 4, 5, and out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's take a breath in now as we connect with the very beautiful crystalline energies at the center of Mother Earth, and let's invite those energies to come up, up, up into our chakras as we breathe in, counting up from 2, 4, 5. And let's exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's inhale now as we connect with the very beautiful high vibrational energies of the sun behind the sun. Let's invite that living light intelligence to come down, down, down into our chakras as we breathe in, counting down 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and exhale. So just allow your body to soften now. Let your shoulders drop and allow your heart to open. Just imagine soft golden light above your head, the light of your higher self. Just notice how it pours down into your crown, flowing through your heart, reminding you that you are love. You are the higher vibration of love. It exists within you. So just bring your mind gently now to someone or something that you may have felt overly responsible for. This might be a person, a relationship, even a situation. And with compassion, see the energetic cords connecting to you. Let's bring in the beautiful beings of light now to help us. The Archangel Gabriel to help us with our communication. Let's bring in the beautiful Kuan Yin now as she places one hand on our heart and the other on our head so that we can be more heart-led going forward. And let's bring in the beautiful Archangel Zadkiel to burn with his violet flame any untruths, any misunderstandings, any darkness around any ideas that you may have, any confusion you may have. And just say quietly in your mind, repeat after me: I let go of all energy that is not mine to carry. I return all energy that belongs to you with love and light. I call back all parts of myself that I have given away in fear or control. I am whole. I am sovereign. I am free. So just gently allow yourself to breathe this mantra in, this message to yourself, to your subconscious mind, to your conscious mind, to your ego mind, to your inner child. And feel your heart space expanding with gold light. Recognize this is love, the kind that doesn't need to hold, to fix, or to rescue. This is divine love, free, flowing, infinite. Just stay here for a moment in your own sacred wholeness. If any of you experience a feeling of a tightness in your throat chakra during this meditation, then you know that you're on the right track, that this is definitely for you. This meditation, this message is definitely for you, to assist you in letting go of what no longer serves you. And let's just start to breathe in for 5, and exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And on the next breath in, just start to feel maybe the chair at your back, the earth beneath you, holding you, and just come back to the room.
That was beautiful, Katherine. I could feel the lightness and the freedom in that release.
Oh, thank you, Trish. It's such sacred work, isn't it? Yeah. Remembering letting go of codependency isn't always about letting people go, but it's about letting go of fear. When we do that, love can finally breathe again.
Yes, perfectly said. I'm a bit spacey, I have to admit, and my phone is for some reason over there beeping, but it's confirming everything you're saying, actually. Thank you for this conversation. It will really touch so many hearts.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Magical Souls, for listening. Also, just want to mention that while I was doing that meditation, a lot of air was coming up for me, and that is also a marker or a clue to the idea that this was something that I needed to do today as well. So if you are doing the meditation and suddenly you're having air coming up or your throat's closing, then do it again, because we want all of the blocks to be removed. And I just really want to say thank you for listening, for walking this path with us. If you enjoyed this podcast, then do look out for our spiritual workshops, which we host on the second Saturday of every month. They are live via Zoom, and you can always catch the replay if you can't make the live. There are different topics every month. We have guest speakers. It's very, very lovely and exciting. And you'd also be welcome into our very magical and loving energy of our spiritual group. You are also welcome to book an Akashic Record reading with me if you want to investigate codependency or other blocks to living your best life. Okay, and I can recommend booking a session with Trish as well to work through your trauma. So, if you wanted to work with Trish, she works with all clients of all ages, religions, cultures, traditions, on their thoughts and the very thoughts that keep them fearful, small, longing for a better way to live, on the hamster wheel. Her work spans over all situations. There is no limitations, and she helps her clients to truly break free from the not now and come back to the now, not loving what isn't, but loving what is. I will leave Trisha's details in the description so you can contact her very easily. So, until next time, everyone, stay grounded, stay free, and as always, stay magical.